lot of people ask me about the cost of living in Bloomington, and so I just figured everybody was figuring that out on their own, but I thought I would make a cool video for you so you can learn a little bit about the cost of living. And Bloomington is located about 50 miles south of Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis is a huge city and Bloomington is a small town. We are located right where Indiana University is, and we are very much a college town. It's a great town to raise your family, and there is a ton to do here. We are surrounded by Hoosier National Forest, and we have the largest man-made lake just 15 minutes south of Bloomington. And if you are an outdoor enthusiast, there is a ton to do. Bloomington is very active. It's a big music scene here. There's a lot of festivals, things like that. But today, let's talk about the cost of living. And I am going to use Indianapolis as a comparison because it is a big city and some people would probably prefer to live in a bigger city. Bloomington is comprised of about 85,000 people, and 45,000 of those people are college students. So it's a transient environment here, but there are 40,000 people that live here on a year-round permanent basis. So let's get right into that. I want to use $100,000 as your living wage here because that's just an easy number to compute. So Bloomington is 4% higher than the national average. Even though the rest of the nation struggles with housing, we don't really struggle that much in Bloomington because of the turn at Indiana University with the professors and staff, grad students, things like that. When places come up on the market, they sell. So with the higher interest rates that we've experienced over the fall and winter, houses are sitting for a little bit longer, but they really haven't gone down much in listing price over the sold price because people are always moving here and they need housing. So in terms of wages, if you're making $100,000 in Indianapolis, you need $107,112 to have your same lifestyle in Bloomington. Minimum wage in Indiana is $7.25. That's quite a difference from around the rest of the country, but just keep that in mind. So if you're considering housing, the median housing in Indianapolis would be $357,784. And to live in Bloomington, you're gonna have to bump up your pricing by 24%. And the median pricing here would be $492,053. And this is all according to Forbes.com. So I got on their pricing calculator there, and these are the numbers they came up with. So if you are looking to rent in Indy, you are going to be spending $1,350 per month for an average rent. And in Bloomington, you're going to be spending just about 1% more here for $1,361 in Bloomington. As far as energy goes, you're going to be spending about 1.5% more than Indy. Indy would come in at $208.29 and Bloomington comes in at $212.17. Next up is transportation, so gasoline. Gas is more expensive in Bloomington because we're kind of like just out here, and if you can get your gas up in Indy and drive back here, you'll be saving a couple bucks. So gas, as of this video, was $3.57 in Indianapolis and $3.83 in Bloomington. So that is 6.79% higher in Bloomington. Now, if you want to ride the bus, we have a pretty good bus system around Bloomington and Indiana University, so it's $1 a ride. If you are a student or you work for IU or you work for the city of Bloomington, it's free. So you can get a pass for 6 months for $75 and use that anytime, anywhere, and you'll be good to go. So a lot of people that work for Indiana University park at the stadium and then grab a bus into their specific school at IU. The next thing is healthcare. If you are going to the doctor, in Indianapolis you would spend $98.77 for a doctor's visit, and in Bloomington you will spend $109.11. This is just an average. The doctor's visit would be 9.48% higher in Bloomington. Now, for a dentist, you're going to go down almost 6.5%. So a dentist visit in Indianapolis would be $107.22, and in Bloomington it would be $100.21. Now, for the eye doctor, a lot more expensive. It's almost 58% than Indianapolis, so you might want to get an eye doctor up there and take a drive. So in Indianapolis, you're going to spend $72.26 for your typical optometry visit, and in Bloomington, you're going to spend $170.98. That's significant, right? So you could always go up to Indy and grab a bite to eat up there and go to the eye doctor. Now, prescription drugs, you are going to spend a little over $500 in prescription drugs. It's 3.29% cheaper in Bloomington for $485 on typical prescription drugs. And let's just look at a bottle of ibuprofen. In Indianapolis, you're going to spend $10.53 on a bottle, and in Bloomington, you're going to spend $10.97. So that is an increase over Indy of a little over 4%. Let's talk about restaurants in Bloomington, especially mid-range restaurants, which is going to be your smaller restaurants down on 4th Street or close to campus, something like that. So for any of those type of restaurants, you're going to pay anywhere from $14 to $30 for a meal there. So that's just a little bit about Bloomington. Just know that the housing costs are going to be significantly more, and utility costs, you know, somewhere around the same. Doctor's visits more expensive, and that's just part of living in a small town and a college town at that. So now, if this video was helpful to you, please like and subscribe. I am here to help you with all your housing needs, so be sure and go down in the description area, and all my information is below. But please give me a call if you're moving to Bloomington. I'd love to help.